friends, welcome to PVM e-learning YouTube channel. Friends, today we are going to learn a story from 9th standard. It's 1.5, The Necklace. The story has been written by Henry Rain Albert Guy de Maupassant. He was a French author. He was known as the best naturalistic short story writer of the 19th century. He depicted human lives, destinies, and social forces in disillusioned and pessimistic terms. The Necklace is a story of a young, charming, pretty girl called Matilda. Matilda, unfortunately born in a middle-class family. She felt that she was entitled to live the life of luxuries. But what actually happened in her life? Let us see in the story. The Necklace. Friends, now I will read the lesson. You will listen it carefully and read it in your mind. The Necklace, part first. Matilda was a pretty and charming girl, born as if by an error of fate into a family of clerks. Matilda was pretty and charming, means a beautiful girl. Born as if by an error of fate. By an error of fate means by the mistake of fortune or fate. नशिबाच्या चुकीने ती एका सामान्य कारकुनाच्या घरी जन्माला येते. She had no means of becoming known, understood, loved or be wedded to an aristocrat. आणि सामान्य कुटुंबात जन्माला आल्यामुळे तिला कोणी ओळखावं, समजून घ्यावं, तिच्यावर प्रेम करावं किंवा aristocrat means a nobleman or a person of higher rank in the society. एखाद्या उच्च कुलीन व्यक्तीशी तिचं लग्न व्हावं असं काही नव्हतं. So she let herself be married to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. And that's why she got married to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. आणि म्हणून शिक्षण विभागात काम करणाऱ्या एका कनिष्ठ कर्मचाऱ्याशी लग्न करण्याचा ती निर्णय घेते किंवा होकार देते. She dressed plainly because she had never been able to afford anything better. Matilda had to live very simple life. She wore simple dresses because she could not buy or purchase rich, costlier dresses. मॅटिल्डाला अतिशय साधारणसे कपडे परिधान करावे लागत होते कारण महागडे कपडे घेणे तिच्यासाठी शक्य नव्हतं. She suffered endlessly, feeling she was entitled to all the luxuries of life. Matilda always felt that she has right to live with all the luxuries, all the comforts of life. मॅटिल्डाला नेहमी असं वाटायचं की सुखचैनीच्या गोष्टींनी जगावं हा तिचा अधिकार आहे. But she was not able to do so and it made her very unhappy. परंतु असं जगता येत नसल्यामुळे तिला दुःख कष्ट व्हायचे. She suffered because of her shabby, poorly furnished house. Her house was shabby, worn out, old and poorly furnished. It was not a well furnished house. तिचं जुनाट असलेलं फर्निचर नसलेलं घर असल्यामुळे देखील तिला त्रास व्हायचा. All these things that another woman of her class would not even have noticed tormented her and made her resentful. Perhaps any other woman of her class not noticed all these things, but those things made Matilda very much unhappy, depressed. कदाचित तिच्या सामाजिक स्तरातील एखाद्या स्त्रीला ह्या गोष्टी अडचणीच्या वाटल्या नसत्या, खटकल्या नसत्या, परंतु या गोष्टींनी मॅटिल्डा दुःखी कष्टी व्हायची. She dreamed of a grand, palatial mansion with vast rooms and inviting smaller rooms perfumed for afternoon chats with close friends. She felt that she should have a palatial mansion. Palatial mansion म्हणजे राजवाड्यासारखं असणारं भव्य घर असावं अशी तिची इच्छा होती. असं तिचं स्वप्न होतं. विथ व्हास्ट रूम्स, की ज्याला मोठ्या मोठ्या खोल्या असतील, इन्व्हायटिंग स्मॉलर रूम्स, त्यालाच जोडून असणाऱ्या छोट्या छोट्या खोल्या, परफ्युम्ड फॉर आफ्टरनून चॅट्स विथ क्लोज फ्रेंड्स, आणि दुपारच्या वेळी आपल्या मैत्रिणींशी गप्पा मारता यावं म्हणून सुगंधित केलेल्या असतील, असं भव्य मोठं घर असावं असं मॅटिल्डाचं स्वप्न असतं. Yet she had no rich dresses, no jewels, nothing, and these were the only things she loved. She had no rich dresses, no jewels, and these were the things Matilda loved very much. मॅटिल्डाकडे चांगले कपडे, सुंदर असे दागिने नव्हते, आणि ह्याच गोष्टी तिला खूप आवडायच्या. She wanted so much to charm, to be envied, to be sought after. मॅटिल्डाला नेहमी आपण सुंदर दिसावं, आपला कोणी हेवा करावा असं वाटायचं. She had a rich friend, a former schoolmate at convent, whom she avoided visiting because afterwards she would weep with regret, despair, and misery. Matilda had a rich friend. She was a friend from her school days, and Matilda avoided to meet her, to visit her. मॅटिल्डाची एक श्रीमंत मैत्रीण होती. ती शाळेच्या दिवसांपासून असलेली तिची मैत्रीण. परंतु मॅटिल्डाला आपल्या ह्या मैत्रिणीला भेटायला आवडत नसे. Why Matilda did not like to visit her rich friend? Because afterwards she would weep with regret, despair, and misery. कारण आपल्या श्रीमंत मैत्रिणीला भेटल्यावर मॅटिल्डाला स्वतःविषयी कीव, निराशा आणि दुःख वाटायचं, आणि त्यामुळे तिला रडायला यायचं. One evening her husband came home with an air of triumph, holding a large envelope in his hand. Look, he said, here's something for you. So it happened one day her husband returned home as if he has won something. He had a large envelope in his hand. Giving that envelope to Matilda, he said there was something for her. एके दिवशी मॅटिल्डाचा पती जणू काही जिंकून आल्याच्या आविर्भावात घरी येतो. त्याच्या हातात एक मोठं पाकिट असतं, आणि ते पाकिट मॅटिल्डाकडे देत तो म्हणतो, तुझ्यासाठी काहीतरी आहे. She tore open the paper and drew out a card on which was printed the words. She opened that envelope and took out a card. And what was written on that invitation card? ती ते पाकिट फाडते आणि त्यातनं एक आमंत्रण पत्रिका बाहेर काढते. ती पत्रिका काढल्यावर त्यावर काय लिहिलेलं असतं? The Minister of Education and Madame George Ramponneau request the pleasure of Master and Madame Loisel's company at the ministry on the evening of Monday, January 18th. त्या पत्रिकेत छापलेलं असतं, सन्माननीय शिक्षण मंत्री आणि मादाम जॉर्ज रॉम्प्युन्यू हे श्रीमान आणि श्रीमती लॉयझेल यांना दिनांक 18 जानेवारी सोमवार रोजी सायंकाळी मंत्रालयात उपस्थित राहण्याचं प्रेमपूर्वक, स्नेहपूर्वक आमंत्रण देत आहोत. Instead of being delighted, as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation on the table resentfully and muttered, "What do you want me to do with that? And what do you expect me to wear if I go?" Her husband thought that perhaps Matilda would become happy receiving an invitation card. But it did not happen. Matilda became angry. She threw the card on the table and she asked her husband what he wanted her to do with that invitation card. तिच्या पतीला वाटलं होतं की हे कार्ड बघितल्यावर मॅटिल्डाला आनंद होईल, परंतु असं काही घडत नाही. ते कार्ड मॅटिल्डा टेबलवर फेकून देते आणि विचारते की ह्याचं मी काय करावं असं तुम्हाला वाटतं? And what do you expect me to wear if I go? आणि तिथं मी जावं असं जर म्हणत असाल तर मी कोणते कपडे परिधान करावेत? He had not thought of that. He stammered, "Why, the dress you go to the theater in. It seemed very nice to me." He had no idea about it. त्याला अशी कुठलीही कल्पना मनात येत नाही. He stammered. Stammered means he speak hesitantly. अडखळत तो बोलतो. The dress she wore for theater, it seemed him nice. जो ड्रेस ती थिएटरला जाण्यासाठी परिधान करते तो छान आहे असं तो सांगतो. He stopped, stunned, distressed to see his wife crying. आणि तो थांबतो. Stunned, he was shocked. Distressed, became sad to see Matilda crying. आपल्या पत्नीला रडताना पाहून त्याला थोडासा धक्का बसतो, दुःख वाटतं. He stuttered. What's matter? Let's see Matilda. How much would a suitable dress cost? आणि थोडा अडखळत तो तिला विचारतो, मॅटिल्डा काय झालं? बघ आपण असं करू. हाऊ मच अ सुटेबल ड्रेस कॉस्ट? एक चांगला ड्रेस किती किमतीत पडेल बरं? She thought for a moment, computing the cost and also wondering what amount she could ask for without an immediate refusal. So Matilda thought for a moment, एक क्षणभर ती विचार करते. Computing the cost, she calculate the cost for dress. ड्रेसला किती खर्च येईल याची मोजणी करते. And wondering what amount she could ask for without an immediate refusal. And at the same moment she thought that she should ask such a cost that her husband would not deny. आणि त्याच वेळी ती विचारही करते की अशी किंमत सांगावी तिचा पती नाकारू शकणार नाही. At last she answered hesitantly. आणि थोडी अडखळत ती उत्तर देते. I don't know exactly, but I think I could do it with 400 francs. आणि थोडी घाबरतच ती म्हणते, नक्की सांगता येणार नाही, परंतु 400 फ्रँक्स पुरे होतील. He turned a little pale because he had been saving that exact amount to buy a gun for a hunting summer in the country near Nantes with a few friends. Now her husband became sad because he was saving that much amount for buying a gun. तिचा पती थोडासा दुःखी होतो कारण तेवढे पैसे तो शिकारीसाठी एक बंदूक घेणार असतो आणि उन्हाळ्याच्या सुट्टीत त्याच्या मित्रांसोबत नांतेन जवळच्या प्रदेशात ते सहलीला जाणार असतात. However, he said, very well, I can give you 400 francs, but try and get a really beautiful dress. So he promised her that he would give her 400 francs and she should make a beautiful dress out of it. तो तिला तेवढे पैसे देण्याचं कबूल करतो आणि त्यात एक सुंदर छान असा ड्रेस बनव असं तो तिला सांगतो. The day of party drew near and Madame Loisel seemed sad, restless, anxious, though her dress was ready. Now Matilda got her dress ready. Still she was sad, restless and anxious. पार्टीचा कार्यक्रमाचा दिवस जवळ येत होता. ड्रेस देखील तयार होता, परंतु मॅटिल्डा मात्र दुःखी, खिन्न झालेली दिसत होती. One evening her husband said to her, "What's the matter? You have been acting strange these last 3 days." So one evening her husband asked her the reason of her strange behavior. गेल्या 2-3 दिवसांपासून तिच्या विचित्र वागण्याचं कारण तिचा पती तिला एके दिवशी संध्याकाळी विचारतो. She replied, "I'm upset that I have no jewels, not a single stone to wear. I would rather not go to the party." And she replied to his question that she was upset because she had no jewels, not a single stone. Here stone means a jewel. तिच्याकडे एखादा सुंदर असा दागिना नसतो, एखादा मौल्यवान खडा नसतो. अँड शी थॉट इट वॉज बेटर नॉट टू गो टू द पार्टी. आणि म्हणून त्या कार्यक्रमाला आपण जाऊ नये असं तिला वाटतं. You could wear flowers, he said. They are very fashionable at this time of year. So he suggested to put on some flowers because they were fashionable at that time. आणि तो तिला फुलं वापरण्याचं सूचित करतो. She was not convinced. मात्र मॅटिल्डाला हे काही आवडत नाही. The next day she went to her friend's house and told her of her distress. So next day she visited her rich friend and told the reason of her unhappiness. दुसऱ्या दिवशी ती आपल्या मैत्रिणीकडे जाते आणि तिच्या दुःखाचं कारण सांगते. Madame Forestier went to her mirrored wardrobe, took out a large box, brought it back, opened it and said to Madame Loisel, "Choose, my dear." So, Madame Forestier went to her mirrored काच असलेला आरसा असलेला wardrobe means cupboard. आणि तिच्या घरात काच असलेला आरसा असलेल्या कपाटाजवळ ती जाते आणि तेथून एक लार्ज बॉक्स मोठा खोका बाहेर काढते, ओपन इट उघडते आणि मॅडम लॉयझेल यांच्याजवळ ती देते आणि यातील काहीतरी निवड असं म्हणून सांगते. फर्स्ट मॅटिल्डा सॉ सम ब्रासलेट्स, देन अ पर्ल नेकलेस. शी ट्रायड ऑन द ज्वेलरी इन द मिरर. सुरुवातीला मॅटिल्डा हातात घालायचे कडे बघते, त्यानंतर पर्ल नेकलेस म्हणजे मोत्यांचे हार बघते आणि दिसलेले दागिने ती आरशात समोर स्वतःला लावून पाहते. शी केप्ट आस्किंग, "यू हॅव नथिंग एल्स?" मॅटिल्डा आपल्या मैत्रिणीला सारखं विचारत असते, तुझ्याकडे अजून दुसरं नाही का? "Why, yes, but I don't know what you like." मॅडम फॉरेस्टियर म्हणतात की आहे, पण नेमकं तुला काय आवडेल हे मला कळत नाही. Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb diamond necklace and her heart began to beat with uncontrolled desire. आणि अचानक एका काळ्या सॅटिनच्या पेटीमध्ये तिला एक सुंदर असा खड्यांचा हार दिसतो आणि तो बघितल्यावर तिच्या मनात न दाबता येणारी इच्छा निर्माण होते. Her hands trembled as she took it. Now her hands started shaking as she touched that beautiful necklace. त्या सुंदर अशा हारला स्पर्श केल्यावर तिचे हात थरथरायला लागतात. She fastened it around her neck and stood lost in ecstasy as she looked at herself. Now she took the diamond necklace and put around her neck. She saw her reflection in the mirror and lost in her own reverie. She lost in appreciation of her own beauty. तिने तो सुंदर खड्यांचा हार आपल्या गळ्याभोवती बांधला आणि स्वतःचं प्रतिबिंब आरशात पाहत स्वतःच्या रूपामध्येच ती हरवून गेली. Then she asked anxiously, hesitating, "Would you lend me this, just this?" आणि मग तिने आपल्या मैत्रिणीला मोठ्या उत्सुकतेने हेजिटेटिंग थोडस घाबरत विचारलं की मला फक्त एवढाच उसना देशील का? "Why, yes, of course." आणि मॅडम फॉरेस्टियर देखील तिला तो हार देण्याचं कबूल करते. She threw her arms around her friend's neck rapturously and then fled with her treasure. She put her arms around her friend's neck very happily and after that she rushed to her home with that diamond necklace. आणि आपल्या मैत्रिणीला आलिंगन देऊन ती आपला खजिना घेऊन घरी परतली. The day of party arrived. Madame Loisel was a success. आणि त्या कार्यक्रमाचा दिवस आला. त्या दिवशी मॅडम लॉयझेल ही अतिशय सुंदर दिसत होती. She was the prettier than all the other women, elegant, gracious, smiling and full of joy. ती कार्यक्रमात हजर असणाऱ्या स्त्रियांपैकी अतिशय आकर्षक, सुंदर आणि खुश आणि हसतमुख अशी देखणी तरुणी होती. She danced wildly with passion, forgetting everything in the time of her beauty and success, floating in a cloud of happiness. आता मॅटिल्डा तिच्या सौंदर्याच्या, तिच्या विजयाच्या उन्मादात, हर्षोल्लासात मुक्तपणे त्या ठिकाणी नृत्य करत होती जणू काही ती सुखाच्या लहरींवर तरंगत होती. Matilda and her husband left at 4 o'clock in the morning. So they left the party at 4 o'clock in the morning. When they were finally in the street, they could not find a cab. They walked down towards the scene till they found one. So at that time they could not find any cab or taxi. So they had to walk to the scene where they could find a taxi. They were dropped off at their door in the Rue des Martyrs, and sadly it was all over for her. So at last they got a cab and it dropped them to their home. Now the party, that joy, happiness was over for Matilda. शेवटी एका टॅक्सीने त्यांना त्यांच्या घरापर्यंत सोडलं. आता मॅटिल्डासाठी सर्व काही संपलेलं होतं. In front of the mirror, she took a final look at herself in all her glory. आता आरशासमोर मॅटिल्डा आपलं सौंदर्य पुन्हा एकदा शेवटचं न्याहाळण्यासाठी बसली. But suddenly she uttered a cry. She no longer had the necklace round her neck. आणि अचानक ती किंचाळली. तिच्या गळ्याभोवती तो डायमंड नेकलेस आता नव्हता. What's the matter? asked her husband. आणि काय झालं म्हणून तिच्या पतीने तिला विचारलं. She turned towards him, panic stricken. I no longer have Madame Forestier's necklace. She rushed to her husband and told him that she had no longer the necklace of Madame Forestier. आणि ती तिच्या पतीकडे दुःखाने गेली आणि त्याला सांगितलं की मॅडम फॉरेस्टियर यांचा हार आता तिच्याजवळ नाही. He stood up, distraught. What? How? That's impossible. आणि तो गोंधळून उभा राहिला. काय, कसं, हे शक्य नाही. And he cried with grief. आणि तो दुःखाने हे शब्द बोलला. So friends, today we got introduced ourselves with Matilda and how she prepared for the party, what happened after the party. Now we will see next part in the next video. Till then you will read the lesson carefully, do the activities given below the lesson. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye.